Hey guys, it's me, Jolly, and today I'm on the playground. I'm down here doing some cleanup. We've had some pretty bad storms come through here lately and knock some limbs off of the trees and flip some chairs over, mess up the roof on my playhouse here. I'm having to clean all that up today. I have to fix this crazy playhouse every time the wind blows just about because the top of it's a little bit broken, but we can still snap it together and it looked like a playhouse. But I did have to make a rule that nobody could get on top of the playhouse. Nobody can get on the roof because it is a little bit broken. Did you know that there's a story in the Bible about people who got up on the roof? The lady actually told people to get up on her roof. That's what our story's about today, and that lady's name is Rahab. Rahab's roof. There once was a woman named Rahab. Rahab lived in a place called Jericho. Jericho was a city in the land of Canaan. It was surrounded by tall walls to protect the people who lived in the city. Rahab's house was built on the outside wall. She even had a window on the wall so she could see outside of Jericho. Rahab's house was like a hotel. Strangers and travelers often stayed with her. Sometimes she would let the men who stayed with her pretend to be her husband and kiss her in a way that God said was just for married people. Sometimes she would even kiss people who had their own wives at their house, and for that reason, many people thought Rahab was a bad person. One day, two very special men came to Rahab's house, but they weren't there for kissing. These two men were spies on a very special mission. These men didn't live in Jericho. They didn't live anywhere. They were Israelites, and they had been traveling looking for their home for 40 years. The Israelite people had once lived in Egypt, but they were all slaves to Pharaoh. The Pharaoh had treated them very badly just because they were Israelites. God helped the Israelites escape from the mean Pharaoh, and then he led his people to their new home, Canaan. When the Israelites finally got to Canaan, there were other people living there, and they were going to have to fight the people to get the land that God promised to them. Joshua, the leader of the Israelites, picked these two men to sneak into Jericho and find out secret things about the city and the people before they attacked. They were staying at Rahab's house while they were checking things out. Someone in Jericho noticed these two strangers and told the king. The king instantly sent his men to Rahab's house to capture the spies because he knew travelers stayed with her. When the king's men showed up at Rahab's house, Rahab told the spies to climb up on her roof and hide in the flax stalks. Flax stalks were plants that were laid on the roof to dry after they'd been picked from the field. The men did just as Rahab told them to do. When the king's men knocked on the door, Rahab told them the spies had already left, going toward the water. The king's men left going the way Rahab told them to go. When the king's men left, Rahab went and uncovered the spies. She told them to climb out her window down a rope and then go hide in the mountains for 3 days. After 3 days, the king's men would stop looking for them and they would be safe. Rahab helped the spies in a great big way because she knew God was on their side. Rahab had heard lots of amazing stories of the things God had done for the Israelites and all the horrible things that happened to people who were mean to the Israelites. Rahab knew she didn't want to do anything that would hurt the Israelites. She wanted to do everything she could to help them. Just before the spies climbed out her window, Rahab said, "Since I was nice to you and helped you, please show kindness to me and my family when you return to attack the city." The spies told her she would not be harmed in the attack. They told her to put a scarlet red cloth in her window and gather all her family inside. Everyone inside her house would be safe. Then the two men escaped out her window and went and hid in the mountains for 3 days, just as Rahab had told them to do. Okay guys, it's time for activity number 1. I'm going to read the directions. Rahab hid the men in her roof. When she told the king's men the spies had already gone, they were actually right above her. She and the king's men were under the spies. Look at the pictures below. Some pictures belong above the water in the air, and some belong under the water. Draw a line putting each thing where it belongs. Okay, so we're gonna look, I moved my paper. There we go. We're gonna look at these things on this side and figure out if they go in the sky or if they go under the water. So the first thing we're gonna look at is the rainbow. Does a rainbow go in the sky or under the water? A rainbow's gonna go in the sky. So we're gonna draw a line from the rainbow to the sky. Okay, the next thing we're gonna look at is a jellyfish. Where are we gonna put a jellyfish? Does a jellyfish go in the air or does it go in the water? What do you think? I think a jellyfish goes in the water. Okay, next we have a kite. Have you ever flown a kite before? Did you fly it in the air or under the water? Where do you fly a kite? You fly a kite in the air. We'll just turn up like this way. Bloop, there we go. Okay, next we have a bird. Does a bird fly in the sky or does it fly underwater? Where does a bird fly? A bird flies in the sky. And the last thing here is a fish. Does a fish swim in the sky or under the water? A fish swims underwater. There we go. Good job, guys. All right, it's time for activity number 2. It's time for our math activity. I'm going to read the directions. There were 3 people at Rahab's house, but because she hid 2 of them, the king's men thought there was just 1 person there. Look at the pictures below. Count the objects. How many objects would it look like if 2 of them were hiding? Okay, so we're just like the people were hiding at Rahab's house. We're going to make some of these things hide, and we're going to figure out how many people we'll be able to see if we hide 2. So first of all, we need to count how many are on each thing. So we're going to start with our frogs. We have 1, 2, 3 frogs. Now we're going to have to figure out how many would be there if 2 of them were hiding. Okay, to pretend this, I'm going to cover it up with my finger. We're going to cover up 1 and 2. So how many are left? 1. You'd be able to see 1 of them if 2 of them were hiding. Okay, now we're going to go down here to the turtles. 1, 2. Okay, if we have 2 turtles and 2 of them were hiding, how many would you be able to see? Let's check it out. We're going to hide 1. We're going to hide 2. How many turtles can you see? 0. I can't see any turtles. No turtles. So I would make a 0. Whoops, my marker's not wanting to. There we go. There's a 0. There are 0 turtles if 2 of them were hiding. Now let's move on to the flowers. 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers. Now we're going to see how many will be there if 2 of them were hiding. We're going to hide 1 and 2. Okay, how many are left? How many can you see? 1, 2. If we had 4 flowers and 2 of them were hiding, you would still be able to see 2 flowers. Okay, the last one is crayons. Let's see how many crayons we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to make 2 of them hide. How many are going to be left? Hide 1, hide 2. How many are left? 1, 2, 3. If 2 of them were hiding, we would have 3 left. Great job. Okay, now let's go on down here to our memory verse. Today we're going to look for the letter B. B is not our letter of the day today, but this is the letter we're going to look for because there are a few of them in this one. So we're going to see if we can find them. Okay, our verse today is, But she had brought them up to the roof of the house and hid them. Joshua 2:6. Okay, now we're going to go back through and we're going to look for our B's. This is a capital B and this is a lowercase b. With B's, you have to be extra careful because a B and a D look a lot alike. So we have to make sure that bump is going the right way when we find them. So we don't want to circle a D because we are looking for the letter B. Okay, we're going to start all over. But, oh, I see a B in that word. Do you see a B in that word? The very first letter of our verse is a B. But she had, let's see, is this one a B? Let's look. This one is not a B because the bump is going the wrong way. This one is a D. Sometimes that's very tricky, so we have to be careful when we're looking for our B's and our D's. Let's try it again. But she had brought, I see a B in that word. There it is. There's our B. Look at these two. This one is a D with the bump going to the left, and this one is a B with the bump going to the right. So this one is the one we're looking for. There we go. But she had brought them up to the roof of the house and hid. Let's look at that one. Is this one going to be a B or a D? Let's look. Here. That one is going to be a D, so we do not circle that one. We're going to keep going. But she had brought them up to the roof of the house and hid them. Joshua 2:6. We found both of our B's. Good job, guys. All right, it's time for activity number 3. Let's see what our big word of the day is. Today, our big word is spy. It's actually a very small word, isn't it? But that may be a word that you don't know what it is. It was in our story. Remember how Joshua sent the spies to Rahab's house? Do you remember what a spy is? Let's see what it says. Someone sent by someone else to get secret information. Oh, there we go. Like Joshua sent, he was the someone else who sent. Joshua sent the spies into Jericho to get secret information. That's why they were called the spies, because they were there to get secret information. Okay, let's do our guessing game. Clue number 1. I lived in Jericho. People came to my house all the time. My house was on the wall. I told the spies to hide on the roof. I told the king's men the spies had already left. I helped the spies escape. My family was saved when the Israelites attacked. Who am I? Who are we talking about? We're talking about Rahab. Rahab lived on the wall in Jericho, and Rahab helped the spies escape. If you knew that our person of the day was Rahab, you were being a great listener. Great job. Okay, now it's time to do our drawing activity. What are we going to draw today? Rahab hid the men in the roof of her house. In the space below, draw a house. Okay, we're gonna draw a house today. Let me see what kind of house I'm gonna draw. I think I'm gonna use lots of shapes today to draw my house. First, I'm gonna draw a square. Okay, and on top of my square, I'm going to make a triangle. Then I'm gonna draw a chimney. Doop, doop, doop. And then we'll do some smoke. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, and then we'll put some windows on. First, I'm gonna put a door. We're gonna make a rectangle right here. There's a door, and put a doorknob. Dot. Okay, then I'm gonna make a window. And there we go, and there we go. Make another window. We'll make it upstairs in this house. And then another window over here. Here we go. What else does my house need? My house needs a fence. Let's give it a fence. Boop, boop, boop. Let's see. Let's put a tree on this side. And then we'll make another fence over here. We'll put the tree in the front yard. There we go. Does that look like a house to you? I like this house. Good job, guys. Okay, it's time to learn our letter of the day. Today's letter is the letter R. R makes the sound R, like Rahab and Ruth. Roof on the house. Rahab and Ruth, they both start with R. This is our capital letter R. This is the big R, and this is our lowercase letter R. This is our little r. They do not look alike at all, do they? But we're going to practice drawing them today. We're going to practice writing them. Okay, before we get started, let me explain my fence picture. Here we have the ground and the fence and the sky. And that helps me to know where to stop and start on parts of my letters. If I can remember this picture, when I come over here to this side and use my imagination, then when I get to this side, I can pretend this is the ground, I can pretend this is the fence, and I can pretend this is the sky, and that will help me to know where to put everything on these lines. Let's see, let's get started. We also have our clouds and our flowers and our roots, but we're not going to use those today. Those are for things that don't go all the way to the fence and don't go all the way to the sky, or those things that dip down under the fence, but we're not going to use those today. To get started, we're going to make our capital letter R. To do that, you're going to start at the sky and go down to the ground. Okay, then we're going to go back up to the sky, and we're going to make a big bump, but we're going to make it stop at the fence. And then we're going to go from the fence, and we're going to make a kick out line like this. Go down to the ground. You see how that kicked out like that? There we go, and that's our capital letter R. Now to make our lowercase letter R, we're going to start at the fence and go down to the ground. And then we're going to go almost to the fence, higher than the flower, but almost to the fence. And we're going to make a little hump that touches the fence and comes back down just a little bit. That's kind of tricky if you're not sure where to start and stop all of that stuff, isn't it? But we're going to practice. We're going to get better at this. Okay, we're going to come over here, and then remember we have to use our imagination to pretend our fence and our clouds and our flowers and all the stuff. But on the top one right here, we're going to make our capital letter R. So we're going to start at the sky, down to the ground. We're going to go back to the sky and make a hump, but be sure that it stops at the top of the fence. And then we're going to go right back here, and we're going to do our kick out to the ground. Boop. There we go. Let's make another one. From the sky to the ground. And we're going to come back up here, and we're going to make a big bump to the fence and then kick out to the ground. Boop. All right, let's make one more. Start at the sky, down to the ground, back to the sky, and make a big bump to the fence, and then kick out to the ground. There we go, 3 R's. Now let's make our little letter R. We're going to start at the fence and go down to the ground, and then we're going to come back up here almost to the fence and do that little hump that touches the fence and then comes down just a little. Okay, let's do another one. Fence, down to the ground, and almost to the fence, touch the fence, and come down just a little bit down. There we go, one more time. Start at the fence, down to the ground, almost back to the fence, touch the fence, and come down just a little bit. There we go, 3 little R's, 3 big R's and 3 little R's. Okay, now we're gonna make our extra practice word of the day. Today's extra practice word is the word roof, just like the spies were hiding on the roof. Okay, the first letter in the word roof is a little letter R. So we're gonna start at the fence, down to the ground, and then we're gonna come almost to the fence, come up and touch the fence and go down just a little bit. Our next letter in the word roof is a letter O. It's a circle, but it's gonna stay under the fence. There we go. Okay, the next letter in the word roof is another letter O. So we're gonna do another O. Let's see, touch the fence, touch the ground, and close it up. There we go. The last letter in the word roof is the letter F. It's been a long time since we've done the letter F, so I'm gonna talk you through it. This one, we're gonna come up to the clouds. We're gonna hook up to the sky and then go down, down, down to the ground. And then we have to do a cross line on the fence. And there we go. Our word of the day is roof. Good job, guys. Hey guys, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed today's story about Rahab on the roof with the spies and everything that went along with that. Rahab did something that was kind of wrong. She didn't exactly tell the truth, did she? She kind of told a little bit of a lie to save the spies. I wonder what God thinks about that, because he does tell us to not tell lies, doesn't he? But when she told that lie, it was saving people. It was doing a very good thing. Sometimes that's very confusing, because sometimes we kind of need to break the rules to do stuff. And that's very confusing to know when we need to do that and when we don't need to do that. But if we're saving somebody, if we're helping somebody, then sometimes we need to pray about that and see if maybe we need to break a rule or two. But that's something we need to pray about. But Rahab did, and it was a good thing. She was able to help the Israelite people. And because that, they were able to help her later. So that was a very good thing. But that is confusing to talk about how it was a good thing that she told a lie that day. So I don't want anybody to think that lies are okay, because lies are not okay. But sometimes we do have to break rules sometimes. And we need to trust God to let us know when those times need to be. What else did we do today? We talked about the letter R, and we did, with the big hump on the top and the kick out on the bottom. What else did we do? We talked about above and below, and the stuff that was in the sky and the stuff that was under the water. And then we did the counting the frogs and the crayons, and then we hid the things to, just like the spies were hiding in the roof. We hid 2 things. We had to cover up 2 things, didn't we? So we could know how many were left. And then we drew our house and talked about spies. We did lots of things today. I hope you enjoyed today, because I sure did. Until next time, Jolly loves you. Hey guys, it's me, Jolly, and I've got some exciting news. Now you can find my book, Jesus Stories with Jolly, on Amazon. You can have your parents go to Amazon and get the book, and you can be doing all of the pages with me. While you're watching my videos, you can be doing your opposites and your rhymes and your letters and your numbers and even the coloring pages. It's all there for you to do. Just have your parents go check it out on Amazon and look for Jesus Stories with Jolly. And I keep forgetting to tell you, please like and subscribe my videos so you can see more videos. How awesome is that?